See the world in this way too. I mean, by traveling and playing to audiences all over the world. And I knew this when I was, 4 or 5 years old. So I knew that to get to become the cellist that I wanted to become, I would have to work also extremely hard. So I did. Not when I was 5, but when I was around 9 years old, I started practicing maybe 2 hours a day. Started at that, and then every year I kind of graduated to adding another hour. By the time I first played with the New York Philharmonic, I was 24, which was young, but I already had 10 years of experience. And I had a very strong musical background in education at a young age, as you guys are having, which is fantastic. 4 to 5 hours a day, and I took one day to kind of just cleanse the brain a little bit, focus on other things. Sistema is a social program, and it was created by a man who, he actually even looks like Gandhi. His name is Jose Antonio Abreu. This program was started in 1978, I think. No, something like that, 1978. And it was, as you may know, Venezuela has a huge problem with poverty and crime, and at the time, problem with drugs. And he wanted to change the lives of a new generation of people. And so he thought the greatest way to kind of socially integrate people was to give them instruments, to have them play orchestras. We started out with around 11 kids that he took from the poorest neighborhoods in Venezuela. And now there are 400,000 children involved today. Gustavo Dudamel, who maybe some of you have heard of, he is the poster child of Sistema. He was the first conductor to really come out of, he's a product of Sistema. He grew up playing in the National Children's Orchestra, which was an orchestra of about, at the time that he was a child, about maybe 200 kids. So I mean, they were really squeezed together, and there were some amazing pictures of this orchestra playing. He was concertmaster of that orchestra. And he started conducting when he was around 17, and then became music director of the Simón Bolívar Orchestra of Venezuela, which is kind of the cream of the crop of the kids that came out of that came out of the program. But every person who's gone through that program plays as if their lives depend on it. Absolutely, completely dedicated to use a very cliched and kind of kitsch phrase, the power of music. The power of music to unite, to inspire, and to really produce social change. And so when I went there, I thought, okay, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because this has the power to really create lasting change, not just for people who, you know, are privileged, or you know, it's just not an elite art form. It's not, doesn't belong in a museum, but it's really something that can have a positive impact on every single person living. So that's why it's.
People can be really rude sometimes. How do you get through criticism, or more like real disrespectful criticism, and how do you deal with it and overcome?
People who are really exceptionally rude, I just kind of feel sorry for them. They're just unhappy to make such remarks. I almost never take it personally, and it's hard not to take some things personally, especially, let's say, if they hit a sore spot, and we all have our sore spots even if we're not aware of them. We might discover them in this way if we hear or read criticism about it. And because he was so sure this guy had to deal with this criticism, so he came up to him and he took his hand, and the artist said, "I'm sorry, who are you?" I think about that a lot. That's the best. That's the best. No, there's no denying women have made incredible progress. Incredible progress, and I know that you know, generations before me struggled so much more. She got a letter from an orchestra saying, "Oh, we would really love to hire you, but we've already reached our quota of female soloists, so we can't hire you this year." I mean, this is actually impossible to imagine today. Thank God. All right, so I mean, there's this kind of ridiculous attitudes. So I don't encounter that type of thing. But yes, I mean, I'm sure you know what I mean by sort of soft prejudice, right? Women have to prove themselves more. I think they have to work slightly harder to prove that they are equally capable of doing something that a man can't. Still, today that's a fact. It's something that as long as women sit at the table, meaning participate, don't be afraid to participate, don't be afraid to ask for what you need, what you know is important, assert yourselves, and things will go much more easily, I think, for all of us. So.